Hello, everyone. I hope you are well today. Thank you for tuning in to Training Tuesday. It is Tuesday at 11 a.m., which of course means that is the time. It is time for Training Tuesday. So thank you for joining me and tuning in wherever you happen to be watching today. I massively, massively appreciate your time. So today's topic, today we are speaking about how to perform a year-end review. And I'm just going to also kick this live off on Instagram as well. So just give me 1 second while I hit the right button there. There we go. Wonderful. So today, we are speaking about how to perform a year-end review in your business. Now, you might think this is a little bit of strange timing for how to perform a year-end review, but this doesn't actually have to always be done at the year-end. It can be, you can do this quarterly, for example, in your business, but you can also choose to do this either on a calendar basis or indeed on a company year-end basis. So it might be that you have a March year end. So your year end is coming up. It's up to you how you want to do this and what frequency you want to do it and how you want to set it up. But that is what we are speaking about today. Good morning, Will. I'm going to shorten your name too. I hope you are well today. Thank you as always for tuning in and joining me. I do appreciate you hopping on a wet Milton Keynes. It is a dry Scottish borders today at the moment, certainly. Let's hope it stays that way. So for those of you that are new to me, you're stumbling across this live, you have never seen me before. My name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I am a chartered accountant, certified profit first professional, and a small business growth strategist. And we help business owners take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy through a mixture of accounting, profitability, and tax management strategies. And today I am speaking about something that I get a huge amount of value of when I do this in my own business. And so I want to share it with you as well. And that is performing a year-end review in your business. Now, I am not going to tell you that this is a quick and easy thing. This is actually a big piece of work, and it will take you probably at least a couple of days to actually do. But the information that you get from it is really important in terms of understanding how your year went and understanding what strategies you might need to put in place for the year going forward. So whilst this isn't a quick and easy thing, it's also a worthwhile thing to do in your business. So if you are tuning in, give me a hello, give me some thumbs up, some likes, some love, some shares, some hearts, whatever those things are on whichever platform you happen to be on. It would mean a massive, massive amount to me. And it also helps with the whole, algorithm-y things that happen online. So that would mean a huge amount to me if you can do that. So how to perform a year-end review. Now I have a big page of notes with me because we have to cover, or we want to cover 11 areas. I think there are 11 in our year-end review. We want to cover financial performance, sales and marketing, operations, customer satisfaction, employee performance, industry trends, SWOT analysis, competitive analysis, review of business processes, review of vendor relationships, and review of employee satisfaction. So that is 11 areas that I recommend that you would cover off when you are doing an annual review for your business. Now, if you want to do this quarterly, you might scale down some areas that you don't need to look at every quarter, for example, but those are the key areas of business and the key areas that run a business. And therefore, they're the areas that we want to look at. Now, of course, I'm going to start with the financial performance, because if you've been around my content for any length of time, you will know that that is a key place, in my opinion, to be starting. So we want to make sure that we are reviewing the income statement, also called the profit and loss account, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement to assess the revenue, expenses, profits, and overall financial health of the business. We want to look for trends and patterns that can help you identify areas where you can improve the financial performance. So, for example, in the profit and loss account, the income statement, you're going to want to review revenue, and it might be that you have revenue split out by revenue sources, or you might just have one revenue source. You're going to want to look at trends over time. Are things stable? Do you have seasonality in your revenue? You're going to want to look at gross profit, making sure that your gross profit margin is high, which is generally a good sign that your pricing strategy is effective. And you're going to want to look at the operating expenses, both line by line and in total. Some areas to hone in on are rent and rates if you're a bricks and mortar business, as well as utilities, of course, nowadays. Marketing is also a key one that you want to look at as a percentage of revenue, as well as salaries in your business. Looking at trends again over time, comparing to your revenue to see how you're doing in terms of those percentage basis. And then with your balance sheet. So the balance sheet can be something that really confuses people. I'm actually going to be doing a mini course on how to read and understand financial statements. So I will be putting that out across our socials once we get that all set up and running. I'm currently writing it at the moment. The balance sheet provides you with a snapshot in time of the assets and liabilities of the business. If you are confused by what that means, please look out for this mini course that I'm going to be putting out, because I will go into depth for all the financial statements, explain in depth what everything is. It's not quite ready yet, though, for people to sign up. So watch this space for that link. Again, wherever you're watching, I will be trying to put that link up, or make sure that you follow me on one of the more easier to follow me on social channels. So if you're watching on YouTube, for example, follow on one of the other channels as well, so you'll be able to see when that link becomes available. But for those of you that do understand what a balance sheet is, you're going to want to look at the total assets of the business. Again, looking at trends over time. Is it increasing, decreasing, staying stable? Particularly looking at that trade debtors number, the people that owe your business money, making sure that that is in alignment with revenue, that it's not creeping up, that you have that under control. You're going to look at the total liabilities of the business, the amounts of money that you owe over time. Again, is increasing, decreasing, or staying stable? And then looking at the net assets line to see if the business, how solvent the business is. So you're going to want that number to be positive. If it is negative, you are technically insolvent as a business. So really understanding what the balance sheet is telling you and showing you in your business. And then, of course, the other main financial statement is the cash flow statement. So it will show the net cash flow from operating activities, from investing activities, and from financing activities. And again, looking for trends over time, increasing, decreasing, stability, seasonality. All those things are important. When you're looking at trends, you need to take into account the context of the business environment that you're operating in, the industry that you're operating in, and comparing the performance over periods like months, quarters, year on year, so that you can see what is happening there. You're also going to want to check that trends align with expectations and goals that you are setting for your business as well. And you may want to compare your performance to industry benchmarks, perhaps, in order to gain a sense of how your business is generally performing within the industry that you're operating in. So that's looking at the financial performance. You're then going to want to have a look at the sales and marketing performance. And this in itself can be a task that, depending on how much marketing you do, can take a whole day to do in itself, because we're going to want to review the data. And it may be that you're not collecting the data just now, so you might have to go and collect it and work it out before you actually then review it. But you are going to want to really understand what marketing is driving sales in your business, where your energies and efforts are going, and potentially your money as well if you're using paid advertising too. So reviewing your sales figures and customer acquisition data to assess the effectiveness of your sales and marketing efforts, identifying which channels were most effective at driving sales and customer acquisition, and of course, which were least effective, and maybe you don't need to concentrate your time, money, and energy on those. So some key data points that you're going to want to look at. Well, sales data, of course, first off, reviewing the sales figures by product or service, potentially by customer or salesperson or by period, whichever is relevant for your business. This will help you identify which products and services you're selling well and which customers are generating the most revenue from your business, as well as which salespeople are performing best if you use salespeople in your business too. Looking again for trends over time in sales data, whether sales are increasing, decreasing, or are relatively stable. And you're going to also want to understand your customer acquisition data. So reviewing the number of new customers that you acquire over time, the cost of acquiring those customers, their average first spend as well. And this will help you identify which marketing channels are operating effectively at driving customer acquisition for you and which are the least effective. So again, looking at trends in the data over time, increasing, decreasing, or stable. And you're also going to want to review your marketing channel data, and you're going to want to review this per channel and also breaking it down further. So for example, into organic and paid. So the more information that you can gather on this, really the better you can understand what's working for you. So looking at, as I said, organic, paid, email marketing, social channels, content marketing will all help you identify which channels are driving the most website traffic, leads, and conversions in your business. Looking for trends again over time, such as which channels are growing or increasing in performance and which ones are declining. The data on performance of different marketing channels can be found in various sources depending on the channel, but things like website analytics through use of Google Analytics is going to be really important, looking at tracking your website traffic, bounce rates, conversion rates, and other key metrics depending on the channel as well. On paid platforms, you're going to look at things like your Google Ads dashboard, Facebook Ads dashboard, LinkedIn Ads dashboards for overall performance of campaigns as well, to help you work out what's working best, which ones are performing, which ones are giving you an actual return. Now, remember, if you are using paid advertising channels and you're using a marketing agency, please, when you are working out whether you are getting a return on your marketing spend, include their fee in there. Usually, when they send you the report as to whether you're getting a return on your paid marketing, they do not layer in their fee. But their fee is a really important part of the cost, because if you weren't running the ads, you wouldn't have their fee. So really important to actually put their cost into this calculation. Also really important if you are selling product to work out the return after your cost of sales spend too. Because again, that's a number that is left out often. And when we layer it in, we can often find that businesses are actually losing out when it comes to their paid marketing, and they're actually loss making on it. So please layer in these two things, really, really important when you are working out whether or not you have a return from paid ad spend if you are selling product. You need the cost of sales. For anyone, if you're using a marketing agency, you need that cost in there to truly calculate that. Then we've got email marketing as well, things like MailChimp or Constant Contact, Active Campaign. There's a number of them, but tracking the performance of your email campaigns, which subject lines have performed best for you, which segments of your list are most responsive, and which emails are generating you most clicks and conversions or conversations. Social media, looking at the performance of your social media campaigns, which posts have got the most effective for you, what type, is it short form video, is it long form video, is it written, is it audio? All those things can help you identify which channels are going to be the best performing for your business going forward. And then content marketing tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs can help you track performance of your content marketing campaigns and identify which is driving the most organic traffic, which keywords are offering the most conversions. You can also use free tools like Google Search Console for this as well. I highly recommend that if you've not checked that out. That's a really good tool, completely free tool to use and get familiar with. So that's understanding your marketing channel data. Now, I am just going to excuse myself and blow my nose 1 second. I wonder if I can mute myself while I do that, because that would be very helpful. Yeah, I can. There. Sorry about that. So understanding your marketing individual channel data. Now, when we did this for my business, that took a long time because we screenshotted our top performers on each channel that we operated on. We had to look back and segment posts and all that kind of stuff, but it gave us some really, really important and good data about the business's performance on the different channels. And the next thing you come on to from that is something that I alluded to, which is the return on investment from your marketing. So reviewing the return on investment for each marketing channel, which is basically the revenue generated minus the cost of the marketing divided by the cost of the marketing. But remember, in that cost of marketing to include any ad agencies that you are paying. So this will help you identify which channels truly are giving you a return on investment and which are not. Okay, so that's the data that you want to have a look at with sales and marketing. I know I didn't mute on Instagram. Sorry about that. I did mute everywhere else, but Instagram's on a separate feed, so I didn't mute on Instagram. So apologies for that, Liz. So the next area that we want to have a look at is operations. So analyzing your operational data to identify areas that you can improve efficiencies and potentially reduce costs. Now, this will be different for every business depending on which industry you are in, because every business operates differently when it comes to the actual operations of their business. But looking for ways to streamline your processes and optimize your resources are going to be really key here. So client data, reviewing client data such as number of clients, client acquisition costs, client retention rates will help you identify, again, which marketing strategies are most effective at acquiring new clients, which marketing strategies lead to clients that stay longer and spend more as well. But you can also then track the progress of your clients over time. Are they achieving their goals and their outcomes and the reasons that they came to you in the first place? And then service data, reviewing data on the types of service you offer. It might be something like number of sessions provided or the costs of the services will help you understand which is more profitable and in demand and which is not. You're also going to want to look at scheduling data. So if you have frequent calls, for example, or frequent meetings with people, looking at the length of sessions that you have, the number of people that you have per session, that kind of thing can be helpful if you're a coach, for example. And employee data, like the number of employees, employee turnover, and employee productivity, is all going to be really important when you look at the operational side of your business. So this data can be found in various different sources. Again, depending on your business, it might be in your CRM, it might be in your accounting or scheduling software, or other specific software that you use for the business. You might also want to track key performance indicators around this type of thing, like client retention rate, revenue per client, profit margin per client, to gain a better understanding of the operational performance of your business as well. So the next thing, I know I'm giving you a lot of information here, and hopefully some of you are furiously writing it all down potentially, but you also can obviously come back and watch this on the replay as well to catch up and make notes and all those good things. So the next area is customer satisfaction. So assessing customer feedback and satisfaction data to determine how well you are meeting the needs of your clients and identifying areas where you can improve. There's going to be feedback data. So reviewing feedback such as ratings, reviews, and other feedback that you might have received will help you identify areas where you need to shore things up. Reviewing information from testimonials as well. And then there's employee performance. So reviewing employee performance data to identify areas that you might need to provide additional training or support, improve productivity, or improve employee satisfaction as well. This can be done through a variety of ways. Firstly, it can be done through client feedback. If you have clients commenting about members of your team, it can be done through individual conversations. You can also look at the engagement levels that each of your team has if they're engaging with your clients and customers, retention rates per employee, for example. Again, if they're engaging with people, communication, number of communication touch points might be a relevant thing as well. Again, this is going to depend on the employee's role and what they do, but understanding how you can review their performance and understand if they are performing how you want them to perform in the business is important as well. And then looking at industry trends. Now, I am not one that says that you should be constantly reviewing what your competitors are doing, because I actually believe it's really important to not be lagging our competitors. If we are looking at what our competitors are doing and copying, then we are lagging our competitors. If we are actually out front and we are forging the way in our industry, then in many ways what our competitors are doing doesn't really matter. But it's, for me, I like to look at not only my own industry, but I like to look at associated industries as well and see what they're doing, see what new things are coming into other industries, and if there's things that I can incorporate that in my own business, in my own industry. So looking at current trends in your industry is important nonetheless, but also researching complementary industries as well. It can help you identify new opportunities for your business, and it's an important part, in my opinion, of staying competitive and growing a business as well. So you can look at industry associations, trade publications, government sources, market research firms, and social media and industry blogs as well to see what's happening in your industry and associated industries, so you can identify how you might move your business forward as a result of that data. Something that I also think is really important to conduct at least annually is a SWOT analysis on your business. And I know if you've been in corporate, those words probably send a shiver down your spine. A SWOT analysis, for those of you that don't know, is trying to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in your business. So the internal and external factors that are going to impact your business, and basically developing a plan to address those challenges or take advantage of opportunities. It, as I said, can send a shiver down people's spine, mainly because people do these exercises and then they end up not going anywhere. But if you're doing it for your own business, you can use this as part of your planning tool going forward. And that's why I like to do it at least annually. So when you're looking at the various areas, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you can look at things like customer feedback, ratings, reviews. Have they mentioned any specific things in those comments? Marketing positioning. Are you in a favorable market position? Do you have a strong brand, loyal customer base? Financial performance. Is it strong or is it a little bit wobbly? Industry benchmarks, employee feedbacks. These are all important areas that you can look at to identify these different areas in your business. Looking at your processes, your brand, your resources, looking at things like changing in technology, government regulations, competition, customer preferences, or economic situation are all important as well. Then you can organize and prioritize the results of your SWOT analysis to understand what you might want to start working on first in your business and what might not be that important at this point in time, developing a plan of action to actually see it through to implement. That is where the value comes. It doesn't come from just writing the stuff on a piece of paper. It comes from actually taking it away, putting it into your workflow plans, and actually doing it at the end of the day. And the next thing that we want to look at is your competitive analysis. Now, like I said, I am not one to be looking over the shoulder of my competitors, and I don't really recommend you do the same, but it is good to understand where you are relative to other people in your industry, because that is what your customers and clients are doing. They're looking at you and they're looking at others, and they're probably comparing, and they're trying to work out the differences, and they're trying to understand why you might be better or why your competitor might be better. So it's important to understand that from a customer perspective, you need to know what decisions they're making, why, and when. So getting to grips with what your customers are doing, your competitors rather, are doing, is important. First of all, even just identifying them and working out who they are. And remember that your potential competitors might not just be people in your industry. They might be other people that do similar things that somebody could spend money on. So for example, does somebody want to, they have a bucket of money, and they're either going to spend it on health coaching or they're going to spend it on a gym. Like, what? They're not your direct competitor, but they're similar. They may get similar outcomes, and they've got one pot of money to spend on either of those things. So understanding those people that are not direct competitors but are perhaps substitute competitors is important as well. Gathering information on them, analyzing that, understanding your marketing position in relation to them, understanding why someone should choose you over your competitors, and making sure that is clear to them is really important. And then reviewing your business processes. We should, of course, always be reviewing our business processes to find efficiencies and reduce costs in our business. Is there any way you can streamline things? Can you remove any manual processes that you currently have? So the steps here are identifying your processes, gathering the information, analyzing it, evaluating process performance, identifying opportunities for improvement, developing a plan of action, reviewing and updating, implementing and monitoring, continuously improving and examining if things have turned out as expected. So again, this is something that doesn't necessarily need to be done annually. It could indeed be done quarterly and might be worthwhile depending on the type of business, but should at least be done annually to review and make sure that there's not things that you can actually improve on. And then we have our penultimate thing, which is reviewing your vendor relationships. So are there areas where you can find more cost-effective suppliers, or indeed suppliers that provide more value to your business, that can add value and can improve your business more than your current vendor is perhaps doing? Can you negotiate better terms if you are buying more things, for example? So identifying all the vendors that you work with, and then gathering information such as their product, services, delivery times, payment terms, any other relevant information like that. Evaluating their performance based on your relationship with them, identifying where it might improve, and developing a plan of action as to whether you have that conversation with the current vendor to either reduce the price or increase the service levels, or whether you can find better value elsewhere for that relationship. And last, but by no means least, is reviewing your employee satisfaction. So this is different from your employee performance that we spoke about earlier. This is actually your employee satisfaction. Are your employees or team members engaged, motivated, and able to be retained? It always will cost more to hire someone else than it will be to retain the current people that you have. Therefore, understanding how satisfied your employees are is going to be important. And it's a relatively similar set of stages to most things: identifying who your employees are, collecting the data, analyzing the data. You can collect the data through employee surveys, interviews, focus groups, one-to-one calls. You can use quantitative and qualitative questions there. Evaluate overall based on kind of what you see, and identifying opportunities for improvement from your side to increase your employee satisfaction, developing a plan of action, and then reviewing regularly to see what's working, what's not working, and what you still need to tweak. Remembering, of course, that employees are humans and you need to communicate with them as well. So that is a probably whistle-stop run through of the 11 areas that I think we need to cover when you do a year-end review in your business. Like I said, it doesn't have to be annually. It doesn't have to be based on a calendar basis. It can be on your year-end. It could be quarterly that you do this. But I think this is an important thing to do in your business at least once a year. So looking at financial performance, sales and marketing, operations, customer satisfaction, employee performance, industry trends, SWOT analysis, competitive analysis, review of business processes, review of vendor relationships, and review of employee satisfaction. So I hope that run through has been really helpful for you. This is what I do in my business, and I highly recommend that you do it in yours as well. As I say, it is not a quick and easy exercise. This is not something that will take you 10 minutes to do. This will take you a couple of days, probably at least, to actually do. But the information you get from it is really important to help your business move forward over the next 12 months. So I hope that has been useful for you. Amazing. Hello. Hey, Ashley. I'm glad that's been really helpful for you, Will. I'm really, really pleased about that. Let's see what you say, Lewis. It's me and my mate on 50-50 in a company. What business taxes do you have to pay? It's just me and him working. Lewis, that entirely depends on your structure, whether you are a sole trade, where you're operating as a partnership, rather, if there's two of you, whether you're a limited company. So if you're a partnership, you'll have personal taxes to pay. You'll have to submit a partnership return as well. And if you're a limited company, you'll have corporation tax and your personal tax returns to do. And you may have VAT as well, depending on if you're at the VAT. So if you're a limited company, you have corporation tax. You'll have your own director's personal tax returns to do. You may have VAT if you're at the VAT threshold. You potentially have national insurance and PAYE if you guys are being paid through payroll, depending on what level you set that as well. So I hope that answers your question, Lewis. But if you want to have a chat, you're on Instagram, so just click the link in my bio and book a call and we can have a chat about it. So I hope that's been helpful today for the session on how to perform a year-end review in your business. Any questions, queries, comments, please do let me know. I'm happy to answer those. And like Lewis, if you want to have a call with me and speak about your business, then I'm more than happy to do that. You can head to the website, which is just annetteandco.co.uk, and you'll be able to book a call there. In most places that you are, the link will be somewhere around that social channel. So you may very well be able to, I'm just trying to work out how I can give you the link. Let me just do that now in the, give you the link now on the screen for most people other than Instagram, where I can't put it on the screen, but let me do that. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that on the screen now for you everywhere else. So there we go. It's annetteandco.co.uk. If you want to have a chat with me, I'm happy to do that. Or you can DM me on whichever platform you're on, and I can send you the link to book a call that way. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful for you. I know that's a really helpful exercise for me and my business. So I'm pleased that I got to share that with you guys too today. Remember, of course, we are back every Tuesday for Training Tuesday, wherever you happen to be watching. Same time, same place, 11 a.m. Tuesdays. Next week's topic is using value-based pricing. This is a biggie. I love this topic so much. So do join me for that. I am also again back on Thursday for our it's called What's Happening Now. It's the UK business and economy updates. So again, join me for that on Thursdays at 11 a.m. wherever you happen to be watching. Thanks again for tuning in. Remember, the thumbs up, the likes, the loves, the hearts all mean a huge, huge amount to me. So I massively, massively appreciate them. And I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone.